everyone. Welcome back to Show Me How to Win. We're at KubaCon 2019 and we're visiting Ninja Star. Next to me is Dan Kobayashi. He's the owner of Ninja Star Games. Dan, why did you decide to bring all these Japanese games to the United States?
So, a couple years ago when I really started getting into the modern board games, I noticed that there's not a lot of Japanese games and Asian games being represented here in US and also in Europe. So I wondered, well, is there actually a gaming scene in Japan? So when I went back to Japan to see my family, I noticed that there's actually a pretty big Japanese gaming market. So what I saw there is basically a lot of games that I've never heard of, I've never seen of, and their rules are a little bit unique, a little bit different than some of the games that I've been playing here in America. So that's when I thought, okay, well, I kind of want to show these games to my friends and my gaming groups, and I want to let them know that there is a Japanese market. You guys should be aware of it because there are some really cool games out there.
And when you bring them over here, you actually help develop the game to make it more fitting to the American audience, right?
Yes. So we just don't bring it and translate the rules, but we also try to retheme it or try to make it a little bit more fitting for the gaming crowds here and also in Europe as well. So we, not only just the translation part, but retheming, developing, changing the rules a little bit to streamline it, and so a lot of, development works.
All right, so tell us about your most popular game or one of your best sellers, Yokai Septet. How did you come across Yokai Septet?
So for Yokai Septet, a couple years ago, I was really into trick-taking games. So that's when I met this one trick-taking game called Seven Symbols, Seven Nations. So that one, it was unique in that it is like a traditional trick-taking game like bridge, but it was different enough that I thought, okay, this is a really cool trick-taking game, but it's not very known. It's very, very limited. It was known in Japan, but pretty much no one knew it, at least in my big gaming group in America. So I said, okay, this one I have to bring it. I really like it. I want my friends to know about it.
Okay, so I got a little rundown how to play. It's very similar to one of the game I played growing up so much in my youth, Bridge, but it has a lot of twists and turns to it, which makes it really interesting. So Dan, tell us our viewers how to play Yokai Septet.
So, like I said, it uses the traditional trick-taking games rules. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with how that works. So the difference here is that you don't want to win every single trick in this game. You want a specific tricks that you want to win, and the cards that you want to win are these sevens. So in this game, there are 7 suits, and there are 7 sevens. So you want to win these sevens. So when you're playing with 4 players, you'll be playing a 2 versus 2 like bridge, with a teammate sitting across from you. So as a team, you want to win 4 or more sevens before winning 7 times. So you don't always want to just win everything. If you win it, you want to make sure that you have 7s in there, because if you win 7 times, your team loses. So you want to win 4 sevens before that happens.
So unlike traditional trick-taking games, you don't want to win every trick. You want to probably lose some before you see the 7.
Exactly. So in this game, it's very important to be able to win when it's right, but it's also very important to lose when you don't want to win. So obviously both teams are trying to do the same thing, so inevitably it's going to happen where you're going to win when you didn't want to win, but that's where the fun part comes in.
Yeah, so tell us how we win. As a bridge player, I know when it comes to bridge, it's all about counting cards, it's all about positions, and it's all about how do you communicate with your players, with your partners when it's a 4-player game. What about in this game?
So there's a couple of ways you can do this. So one way is after everyone has dealt their cards, you're going to be passing 3 cards to your partner secretly. So you will choose 3 cards, and then your partner chooses 3 cards, and that you'll be trading. So that's one way where you can communicate with your partner.
What about secret signals? Touch the nose means I have blue, and touch the ears means I have green.
You guys can come up with anything you want, but as long as your gaming group is happy with that, I have no problem with that, obviously.
Yeah, they probably won't be happy with that.
Probably not. So in general, so when you trade, you kind of want to think about yourself, but also what is your teammate going to get out of the cards that you're going to give them. You don't want to just give them anything because that's probably not going to help. But let's say, for example, you have sevens in your hand. So there's a couple ways you can go about this. One way is obviously you can give that 7 to your partner. Now you and your partner are sharing where the 7s are between you two. So if you keep your 7, then you know that you have your 7, but your partner doesn't know that you have a 7, right? So that's one way you can do that. You can give your 7 to the partner so you guys both know where it is. The other thing is, in this game, the unique part is not just the 7s, but also the range of cards. So like I said, there's 7 suits, and each suit has different range in its numbers. So green goes from 1 to 7, purple goes from 2 to 8, all the way to blue where it goes from 7 to 13. So notice that 7s are different in strength between these suits. So let's say, for example, you have a blue 7 in your hand, but you also have a blue 13 in your hand. So you have a 7, but you also have a very strong card of that suit. So now you have to think, okay, I can give a 7 to my partner because I know I can win, right? That's one way to do it. Or I can give the 13 to my partner, so when I play a 7, my partner can win it for me. So you kind of have to choose there, okay, which one do I want to do? Which one have I done with my partner before? How do they know that I have the 7 or the 13? So that's where the strategy comes in.
It's definitely like bridge. It's definitely a game that when you play more and when you have a partner that you play with all the time, you start developing just like communications. If I give you this card, you know exactly what I mean. If I give you a 13, that probably means I have the lower cards. I want you to play the 13 so I can give you the 7, or vice versa.
Yes, exactly. So that's really where the fun comes. How effectively can you communicate with your partner?
Right. Is there a trump suit in this game?
Yes. There's also a trump suit in this game. And let me talk a little bit about how the card is working. So like I said, there's 7 suits. There's 7 cards in each suit. So total, there's 49 cards in this game. So at the beginning of each round, you're going to deal all the cards. So every player will get 12 cards in their hand. That one remaining card is going to determine the trump suit. So let's say this was the one remaining card. Then now, for this round, the trump suit is pink. So now you know that. Now you have that information, and now you choose to give cards to your partner. So that's also another thing you have to consider. So am I going to give the trump suits to my partner? Well, what should I do? Well, if I obviously, like for example, if I have a 7 of that trump suit and also the strongest card of that trump suit, then that becomes even more important. Okay, so do I want to win this 7? Do I want to win the 7 when my partner is playing the trump suit, the strong trump suit? Or do I just want to give my partner all my trump suits so that he can win on when other 7s are being played?
Another thing you can do is probably, if you have very few of one color, you can give your partner that color so that if you have a low trump suit, 7, for example, you can have the opportunity when somebody plays a color you don't have, you can play that trump and then just take that trick, right?
Yes, exactly. So that strategy is typically known as voiding your suit. So that's really important too. So this game is very short-suited. So there's only 7 cards of each suit. So it's very likely that you're only going to have 1 or 2 card of that suit in your hand. So if that's the case, then maybe it's better just to get rid of all that suit, so you can just play whatever you want to play when other players play that specific suit. That can also help to give your partner the 7s that you have when the partner plays a strong card of that suit, or that will also help to lose the hand when there is no 7 being played. So if your opponents play cards and you don't have that suit, you're not going to win. Your partner can win, but you're not going to win that hand. So that's another way you can lose in this game.
But you just reminded me, there are only 7 cards in this game. So when you think you have an advantage by not having a suit, probably your other teams think the other teams thinking the same thing, and they probably have a player that also don't have one. So that is definitely different from bridge. Having only 7 cards is definitely changes the game up a lot. And you guys actually have a advanced mode in this game too, right?
Yes. So.
As if that's not hard enough.
So yes, so the basic game is basically like I said, you want to win 4 sevens as a team, and if you can do that, you'll get 1 point. If you win 7 times before winning 4 sevens, then your opponent gets 1 point. And the game is usually played best of 3, so the team gets 2 first is going to be the winner. However, there's an advanced scoring rules where each of the sevens are being scored differently. So what does that mean is, for example, in a purple suit, the 7 is the second strongest card because the range goes from 2 to 8. So in this case, if you have that 7 in your hand, it's easier to win. Either your partner or yourself, it's easier to win because if someone plays a purple, you have a second strongest card to win that hand. However, for like blue, the range is from 7 to 13. So this is the weakest card in that suit. So it's harder for you to win when you have it in your hand. So in a game, these blues and these reds, for example, they are worth more points. And specifically, they are worth 2 points at the end of the game if you have won it. Whereas like purple, it's worth nothing in a 4-player game. So that's where another strategy comes in. So sometime you get into a situation where you want your opponent to win those 7s, especially if they are worth 0 points. One more thing is the 7s of the trump suit is worth 0 points. So what that means is that if you have a 7 of the trump suit, maybe it's better not to win that and just give it away because it's worth 0. But you have to always remember that it's one of the 4 sevens that you need to win. So if you just give out all the worthless 7s, then chances are you're going to lose that round. So you know there's a fine balance there on when to win that 7, when to give that 7 to your opponent, when to lose a hand, when to win a hand. So that's where the fun comes in.
Great. This is a game that's really intriguing to me because when it comes in such a small box, it's for 3 to 4 players because you need to have like a partner in 4, and in 3, do you have a partner? You don't, right?
Yeah, in the 3 players, it will be a free-for-all, so everyone is trying to win, and pretty much the rules are exactly the same. The only difference is that in a 3-player, you want to win 3 of the 7 sevens to win, and you'll lose if you win 7 times. That part is the same.
The card distribution, you just get 16 cards.
Exactly. You'll get 16 cards, and there's always that one remaining card will be the trump suit.
Yeah, I love games. I love trick-taking games. A lot of trick-taking games in the market are very similar to bridge, but this one actually has enough changes in there, and the advanced rule really makes things up. So if you're in the market for a trick-taking game, you really should give Yokai Septet a look if you don't already have this game. Thank you so much, Dan, for showing me this game, showing me how to play, how to win, and thank you guys for watching.